Good evening and salutations, my YNR fans. This video is going to be a little different. It's going to be mostly off the cuff. So there's going to be some stuff that I'm clearly going to miss. But I want to kind of get to the stuff that I liked, the stuff I didn't like. Okay, I feel like Lily has probably got to be the most obnoxious person that I can think of right now. And don't get me wrong, well, actually among, because Phyllis is actually still worse, but Lily is just, oh my god, I don't understand how anyone can actually spend time in the same room as her. It's like Kane is bending over backwards, and this woman comes in completely defensive. And I'm like, isn't your whole point to try to get close to him, to see what his plan is and everything like that? And like, right off rip, you're like, well, I hope, you don't waste my time like you practically did yesterday. I'm like, the f-? Then you start hammering in about his trains and everything like that. And I'm like, right off rip, I'm like, I'm gonna be honest, you just giving like bitch attitude. You're giving bitch energy right now. And this is only the first under 5 minutes. And the problem is that the conversation just goes worse, right? Because there's a point where she's like, oh, well, I'm not going to sit there and... Because Kane wants to sit there and break the news to the kids that, he made his billions and everything like that, and he reinvented himself, and she's all like, what did she say? She's like, well, I don't want to sit there and be with you when you talk to the kids because I don't want it to seem like I'm okay with your decisions. What decisions? He made billions and billions of dollars. And you're talking about you don't want to be okay with his decisions? You don't even know how he actually got there. And let's be honest, it's none of your goddamn business. That's the thing that just really drives me over the fucking wall. She's like, well, I still don't know how you did it and this, that, and the third. And you don't need to know because you're not married to him. Just because you share kids does not mean he has to sit there and tell you every single detail or any details of his life. You lost that privilege when you're not married to him anymore. So this whole defensive nonsense that she is doing, it is just the most irritating thing that I've seen in this episode, right? And that's generally what it is. He's trying to be polite, she's being defensive and everything like that. And, my whole thing is like, he's apologizing for the deaths of Kane, of Damien and what Carter did. And she's defensive about that, but let's be very fucking clear. He didn't sit there and tell him to off Damien. He did that on his own. So I don't understand why she's having this energy like, oh, it's your fault that happened. No, sweetheart, that's not how that works. You don't get to blame somebody for something because you don't like the way that the events went out. That's pure fucking emotion. She just comes across... Anyway, enough of that rant. Victor is not happy with Nikki. When he, because he's like, so you was going to sit there and sell the company? Like, he was upset about that, and she said why. And the thing was, he was like, I guess it was like, he wasn't so much upset with the fact that, she did it to sit there and save one of their kids' lives. I think it's just the fact that she didn't tell him. He had to sit there and find out on his own. He told them both to kind of just, like, lure him into a false sense of security. But he's like, here's the kicky though. We're going to get him Jabon. We're going to help him do it. Nikki is held to know about that. Victor don't like that. Nick is on board. Nick is on board. Which I thought him and what you call were cool. Him and Jack were cool. So I'm surprised he's actually on board with taking Jack's company. But, especially also giving it to Kane, too. I mean, you do realize that you were Marchetti, your daughter's company, is also a part of Jabot, but Okay. But he, like I said, he's like, yo, listen, I don't like the fact that you're not on board. We're gonna have a big problem because it's like, do you want him to come at the chancellor again? I mean, you already practically was about to give it to him the last time. So this would give him something else to focus on other than your company. Um, Danny is liking the type of music that Daniel's playing. It's actually pretty good. He agrees to be his best man and everything. He's talking about his feelings with Lily, and at first he's like, I feel like it's disrespectful to Heather, and part of me was like, I get the real like implications. It's kind of like Chad on Days of Our Lives, like Abby. That's just it. But I don't know. I guess for a soap opera, I look at it a little bit different. Like, bro, she's been going for about like 2 years or so. And it's not like she was really bringing much to the table anyway. So I'm kind of just like, seriously? I get it on one hand, but at the same time, I'm like, Heather would also want you to move on too. Heather would not want you to sit there and just be stuck in that bubble and that depressive state. Like, she would want you to find happiness. So there's that. And of course, he's also thinking about how she still has her feelings for Mariah. So he's like, I don't know about that. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't really care about the Lauren Fenmore thing, and what do they call her? They call her something. Christine. I think I was actually about to call her Lauren Bell because I think that's her actual name. But like, yeah, I didn't really care about any of their conversations. I mean, all they did practically was just catch up, and that was about it. Then they talked about the wedding and the wedding dress, and again, I didn't really care about that. But when Daniel and Danny come in, Cricket, because her name, Christine, asks Daniel to make sure to keep his mama far away from this wedding as possible because Phyllis will do something to try to ruin it. That's just what she does. That's just what she does. Probably explains why she can't sit there and hold on to a man. But like, yeah, that's his job. That's his job. Not just being the best man, not just being asked to play for them, but also to keep Phyllis as far away from that wedding as possible, because her dumb ass is going to sit there and do something. Yeah. I think I kind of really talked about everything for the most part. There was some stuff here or there. Honestly, to tell you the truth, I feel like in all reality, you can probably just miss this episode and I think it'll be just fine. You'll be all caught up, so no loss, I would sit there and say. Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to go. If I miss anything, write in the comment section below. Come to the live stream tonight. We'll sit there and talk about all of the stuff and from the other shows. But again, what were your thoughts on it? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Why? Why not? Like I said, I don't really care about Cricket. Lauren can get on my nerves at times. Lauren can get out on my nerves at times. So I'm not really too keen on her either. But I just, like I said, I didn't really care. I mean, like I said, they just caught up. They talked about the funeral that no one saw because clearly Chan's character was not that important enough to even bother to do a funeral. Just like Cole's character was not that important enough to sit there and do a funeral. So you know exactly how the writers and the show felt about those characters. Okay, now I'm done.